Hello. So today I was thinking about higher states of consciousness, and I was walking down a beautiful street in Eastern Europe with tall, ornate, Parisian-style 19th century buildings, and it was a very fashionable district with expensive shops and well-dressed people. And I was just thinking, okay, what has my higher consciousness been through these decades of my life? I looked back in the 1970s, and my main goal was to be a great soccer player, and my peer group, that was the pressure to be a really good soccer player. And then after that came skateboarding and surfing and having the right clothes, right shoes, and having friends amongst the cool group of people at high school and junior high, and perhaps having a girlfriend, going steady with a good-looking, popular girl. And then in the 80s, I was trying to be fashionable. I listened to Duran Duran and Flock of Seagulls and Big Country and all the popular MTV bands, and I put mousse in my hair, and I wore pastel-colored slacks and nice dress shirts, and tried to look fashionable, sort of like in a music video. And of course, at that time, I was 18 to going into my 20s, and I was interested in older women. So when I was 19, I was pursuing a woman that was like 23, and that was the apex of accomplishment if I could get her as a girlfriend. But it didn't work out because she thought I was too young. In any case, I went to the 80s, and there came the pressure of course, succeeding at university and getting a good job. And then after that, it was the 90s, and I was in several European countries working as a teacher. And I wanted to be a good teacher and be popular amongst my students and hang out with the cool people at my school and really make an effort to get one of the best looking European girlfriends I could get. And of course, the locus of control was outside of myself. I wasn't myself. I wasn't a fully realized human being. I hadn't reached my goals until I arranged things in the external world. Having the hot girlfriends, being popular amongst my students, hanging out with the cool people and going to the right bars, having a great European experience as an American and living a good life over there. Also, I was into music and I wanted to prove myself as a guitarist. I played in bars and cafes and did a lot of open mics, had some success there. And so everything was external, all the external validation. And I dressed differently from the way I dressed in the 80s. I was perhaps less stylish. I was more grunge because that was the 90s, and I was dressing in the style of the day, and there were different priorities. And for each country I lived in, I tried to assimilate and learn the language. And I thought, okay, when I learn the language, my status will go up as a foreigner, and I'll get into this scene of the society of each culture: Spain, Czech Republic, Portugal, Istanbul, Turkey, Poland. And I wanted to speak the language well, and so I put a lot of work into that. And each place had the the best place to be, the best part of each city, and you wanted to be part of that society and that social group within that culture in that city, in any case. So looking at the 70s, 80s, 90s, and on to the 2000s, spent a lot of time abroad as well. There was always this human being going through different cultural archetypes, ambitions. There was financial success. There were goals, fashion goals, and self-image goals, self-esteem, musical goals, trying to get a good audience at my gigs. All this was external. So I'm a human being flowing through different cultures, different countries, different languages, different career goals, different artistic career goals, musical goals, girlfriend goals, social goals, having the right friends, hanging out in the right bars, cafes, looking good. And I just see myself as a human being going through all these different stages of life and stages of ambition and relocation and assimilating to, my God, it's 6 different cultures and 6 different languages at this point in my life. And I realize I'm just a consciousness flowing through this. All these other external things are peripheral, but that's not who I am. I'm basically this little light of consciousness. I already exist. I'm already connected to God. I don't need to prove myself in any way. I am consciousness, pure awareness. And today I realized that I'm here walking through this city. I'm this human being, and I've seen it all before. And I'm just awareness. I'm consciousness. And whatever I'm wearing that day, or however people perceive me, do I look good? Do I fit into this culture? I don't speak the language here yet in this Eastern European city. I don't really know many people. I'm thinking, but I'm the same. My awareness, my consciousness, my soul is the same as it was through all these previous decades. So what difference does it make? So I'm just pure awareness. I am this, what I'm trying to reach is the pearl of wisdom and balanced, enlightened consciousness, this state of enlightenment, this higher consciousness, where all these peripheral and external things don't matter so much. They're just the game of life to play. That's not really me. That's not how I base my self-esteem or self-worth. I'm just pure awareness. So it's all an illusion. We're passing through an illusion of life. And you already exist. You're already perfect. All human beings have a soul and a pearl of wisdom, a pearl of higher consciousness. And if you just take a deep breath and listen to that quiet voice, that's who you are. All this other stuff is temporal. It passes. It all dissolves and changes, and fashions come and go. Friends come and go. Relationships, girlfriends, boyfriends, they come and go, and they're just temporary. This is not anything really that important. So you already know everything you need to know, and it's in that pearl of wisdom, which never changes throughout the decades. And that's what I realized today.